up the Christmas lights, the whole look of our city changes. And we love that. And we love that. And we love that Christmas is this moment where we just go out of our way with friends and family, with the food and the gifts and everything else. And so for the next little moment, I just wanted to actually just say a few things about Christmas. Okay, you know, just the other night, just around the corner here in Cooper's Plains, me and my family were out checking out some of the Christmas lights. And this one's a particularly amazing one. It's actually, it would be less than 5 minutes drive away from where we are here, and people going out of the way, voluntarily just putting up lights everywhere so that people can enjoy it, and kids, and you can see these lights from the end of the street from miles away. And you see, it's just got me thinking about this whole thing about wonder. You know, wonder is kind of that moment, that awe-inspiring, that special, something that could be a sound or a sight or the music, even the music that we've had this morning. Hasn't it been special? In fact, I reckon we spend lots of time. We love wonder, isn't it? In our movies, our sports, music, food, travel, whatever it is. You know, I can remember a particular moment of just awe and wonder. It was about 16 years ago, almost to the day. Me and a bunch of friends, we were traveling around East Africa, and there is a mountain there on the border of Kenya and Tanzania. It's called Mount Kilimanjaro. All right, it's a massive hulking thing, 5,895 meters, but it's a freestanding mountain. It's a dormant volcano, so it just sits there in the middle of the African plains, and you can see it from miles and miles away, just towers over anything else in the area. It's a beautiful mountain to look at, and it towers so high that actually, you know, it goes over the clouds. And I tell you what, when you're standing there, and you're seeing a mountain of that size, it makes you feel very small. It makes you feel tiny, that there would be such a thing that would be so big, so large, so imposing. And you just lose yourself. You just kind of recognize your own insignificance in the sight of such an amazing sight. And of course, it makes for a truly epic climb as well, which is the kind of thing you do when you're young and you don't think too much about your safety. But here we are up on the snowy tops of Kilimanjaro. But what's your moment of awe? Can you think of a moment in your life? Or maybe it's something this year that kind of just took you out from beyond yourself and just made you kind of think about life or the world, or you just observed and appreciated something beautiful, something that gave you those goosebumps, the dropped jaws. Is it the sight of the Eiffel Tower, or was it a piece of music, hiking to a perfect lookout, a great cathedral, the sights and sounds of a fighter jet flying through the sky? I'm going to give you 30 seconds. Chat to someone, meet someone around next to you. Can you think of a moment of just wonder and awe in your life in this year that you can think of? Have a quick chat to someone next to you. Find out something about them, about something that was wondrous for them. 30 seconds. Go for it. All right, I'll draw those conversations up. I tell you what, by the sounds of those conversations, I reckon there's a few stories to tell there. When you go back and dig into those stories again at the end of our time together, because isn't that cool? Like there's those moments in life that just kind of open your eyes to life and the world and the universe. It's an interesting thing because there's an argument out there that actually us humans, we're all wired for wonder. We're all wired to kind of look for that moment, that special moment, the thing that will just blow our minds. Neuroscientists have actually been studying this more recently, the effects of awe and wonder on our brains, and they actually say, hey, like when you see someone who's having this amazing experience, even if you just put them in front of a beautiful landscape picture of the earth, things start to go off in our brains. They say it's like a mini earthquake and actually changes the way that people think about the world. They become more humble and generous and happy and healthy. Your body even produces less of the things that cause inflammation in your body. You have this deep sense of connection with the universe. See, one scientist put it like this. He said this, by adulthood, we move through the world pretty immersed in our own concerns, our own minutiae of the day-to-day, our own responsibilities, and it can be hard to keep a sense of perspective about how that fits into the grand scheme of things. By becoming less attuned to ourselves and more attuned to the rest of the world, awe helps us recontextualize ourselves. It helps make you feel like there's more going on in the world apart from just you, and it gives you that sense of being part of something bigger than yourself. Isn't that so true? Like when you have that little moment, you can just kind of step away from all the concerns of your daily, normal life and kind of see the bigger picture and get a sense, well, I do belong to something bigger and all of my little concerns and worries, well, maybe they're not such a big deal after all. In fact, in truth, we could all do with a little bit more wonder in our lives, couldn't we? To get perspective, to connect us to the greater whole. And see, friends, that's why I reckon Christmas is so great. That's why we're looking forward to it. It's something special, something wondrous. But as we had it read out to us earlier, the whole Christmas story is a story of wonder and awe. See, multiple times people break out at the wonder and the promise of this baby that was to be born. Mary remarks, how could this be? Me give birth to the Son of God? The angels there. We don't know exactly what this would have looked like, but we imagine these angels there in the fields watching over their flocks as a huge number of angels break through, announcing the birth of the Messiah lying in a manger. And they're amazed. There, all these angels singing, praising God. And when they finally go to meet this little baby, they are not disappointed. They are not disappointed. When people meet this baby, they leave in amazement. It was here, I'll put it up there in text for us all. So they hurried off and found Mary and Joseph and the baby who was lying in the manger. When they had seen it, they spread the word concerning what had been told about this child, and all who heard it were amazed at what the shepherds said to them. But Mary treasured up all these things and pondered them in her heart. The shepherds returned, glorifying and praising God for all the things they had heard and seen, which were just as they had been told. You see, the birth of this son amazes, it brings up wonder and awe for everyone who comes across this young baby. But what is it? What is it about this baby? What is it about the Christmas story that brings us such wonder and amazement? Well, you saw there that there's lots said about this little baby, both before he was born and afterwards. So I'm just going to summarize a whole bunch of that for you this morning about why I reckon Christmas is such a moment of wonder and why the Christmas story continues to inspire the kind of Christmas celebrations that we have today. First one is the wonder of God come to earth. This little baby born on Christmas Day, the Son of God, the divine taking on human flesh. It's a thing called the incarnation, which is what Christians have called it through the ages. So that God would actually come onto this planet, this plonk of earth, to experience life here. is that he doesn't just stand off distant and kind of from a distance looking down upon this earth and is someone a bit disconnected from all that goes on here. No, God comes and he enters into this world, taking on flesh as this baby who then grows up to be a man. But with that, I reckon, you start to see then the wonder of God's love. That as he enters into his world, as he gets to know the people on the planet and the people get to know him, what does he show? He becomes a man of compassion, of love on those who need it, on those who'd lost loved ones, on those who are sick, oppressed. You see, maybe for you, actually, Christmas is also, as much as it is a joy, it is a wonder, it is a reminder, maybe of someone who's no longer here with you. Maybe it's a reminder of broken relationships or our failures and our flaws. And the God who enters into it comes to love people just like you. You see, ultimately, I actually think the Christmas story is a story of God's mercy. See, as he enters into our world and as he enters in the world of amazing highs and some tragic things that happen, whether it's injustice or war or death or our own personal flaws and failures, he enters into this world and he looks upon it with deep love and mercy. In spite of the disaster that we've made of this place, the way that we treat our planet, the mistakes that we make in our relationships, he enters it to redeem it. You see, the reason everyone is amazed at this baby is because the promise is that he will come to save it. And this little baby child would grow into a man who would then go to a cross and who would die for the sins of the world. You see, friends, the wonder of the Christmas story is that heaven breaks into earth. God comes and walks amongst us. And he does that in order to save the world and the creation that he comes. And I think, so much of the wonder that we experience is something of that. All the little wondrous moments, the mountaintop views, the beautiful piece of music. I reckon it's just a tiny reflection of heaven. It's a tiny reflection that we were made for more. That actually all the little things and the daily things that go on in our lives, that there is more, that we have a connection to a bigger story and we're part of something much bigger than ourselves. And see, at least according to the Bible, that story is the fact that God made us, that he loves us, and that even though we turn away from him, he comes back for us. You see, though our hearts were designed for wonder, our hearts are prone to wander away from God, to kind of just do life without God, ignore God. But he also then comes. And see, the wonder of Christmas is that God cares enough about his world to enter it in order to save it. The carol we just sung, I think, says it better than I ever could. It says, "Hark the herald angels sing, glory to the newborn King, peace on earth and mercy mild, God and sinners reconciled." Friends, church, Christmas draws us back to the possibility that we can be reconciled and be friends with the God who is the source of all the beauty and wonder in our universe. That we can all come together and celebrate his coming because it means that much for us, is that it means that we can be friends with God again. See, I hope that we can all go and celebrate and have a great Christmas. But even more than that, I want us to consider the wonder of the God who enters into this world, this baby, this king, who dies for the sake of his world. Glory to the newborn King. Have a great Christmas, everyone.
Thank you, Matt. What a wondrous story Christmas is, as we think about God entering our world to save us, to forgive our sins. Now, friends, let me be clear. We're a church here. What we're on about is Jesus Christ. I'm not ashamed to say that on Christmas. We're not here to put on just a good show for you. We want you guys to know Jesus, because Jesus, he said,